Hey there, welcome to Navigating the Shift. Annabelle and Sarah here today. And tension is rising. What's happening with you?
Oh, unknown anxiety and shakiness. It is just ridiculous. Queasy, almost dizzy, not really dizzy, but a little wobbly. Hands are shaking, quivery, can't get a deep breath. There's nothing going on specifically in my life to explain it. But I will say one thing that may be it is that we're getting really, really close to something big happening.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I say that is last night as I was falling asleep, I practiced a technique that David Wilcock talks about, where just as you're falling asleep, or just as you're waking up, you don't wake up, but then you just get real focused on listening. And it sounds like there's voices, almost like he described it as a TV going on in the other room. And you just kind of focus in on that. So in his last video, he was talking about a bunch of stuff. He's been doing this for 25 years or something. So, and he recorded it. He started doing it verbally, recording the words he got, and they wouldn't make any sense. But he got a phone call from his mother that her attic door with the steps got stuck open and she wanted his help. And right as that phone call came in, he was reading through the transcript and it said attic door stuck open. And he talks about all these examples of this stuff going on.
When was the transcript from? Had he just written it?
Oh, from 1999.
Oh,
so he actually wrote this down in 1999, but he kept it all, and he was going back. He's put in some search words and so forth to try to look things up, and has just found all this stuff that didn't make any sense when he said it and wrote it down. But when you look at it now, it's like click, 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 click. This is what's going on. So at any rate, I did that. I was falling asleep. My dog barked. She does that occasionally. And I woke up a little bit and I went, okay, I'll just listen. And it was, and I just listened and I heard it's happening someday.
Sunday.
Yeah. So that would be 24th, 26th here. September 26th here in the U.S. Yeah. So my feeling about those words when I heard them was, oh, that's a good thing. I was so, I was sort of sleepy and I was falling back to sleep. But then I woke up. So I'm wondering, how much of this is this anxiety? Is this excitement? It's what the heck is happening on Sunday?
It does feel like anxiety, but we've got to try and tune in to find out what's the anxiety about. Is it to do with them playing their last cards? Is that what the anxiety is about? It feels to me like it's just out of their control now. We had talked about possibilities of threats of big mushroom clouds and things that might knock off a whole bundle of us at the same time, but that feels beyond their control to me now. They can't.
The only other thing that's going on is the volcano on the
Canary
La Palma, the island. Yeah, that could cause a huge tsunami.
And wasn't it there that there was an earthquake earlier this week exactly 10 kilometers below? So it's the manipulation. Is it a manipulation, just like we've heard about all those other earthquakes that travel in lines around the world as if they are tunnel systems? Is it Mother Earth or is it manipulated?
A little of both. That makes sense,
Pressure points. Yeah, she needs to release pressure points. It's something like, there are pressure points around the world. So what's happening in Victoria at the moment, all that violence that's going on, which you saw on the last episode, is releasing the tension there. So Mother Earth doesn't need to do anything there, even though there was an earthquake. But there again, that earthquake was exactly 10 kilometers deep.
Did you feel it?
No, I'm 1,000 kilometers, about 300 miles away.
Well, I read that people felt it in Sydney, so I wondered if you did.
Well, I must have missed it.
It would have
Sydney's
just been
a very big place.
Tiny.
I can travel an hour and a half to get to the south of Sydney, and I'm in the middle.
Wow.
It's a very big place. Yeah,
but this was a big place. Wow.
This was meant to be in a national park. A bit like you think about Yellowstone Park and how people continually go missing there. So
yeah, lots of national parks people.
Yeah, that one might have been removing tunnels and things. So yeah, pressure points. So let's go back to Canary Islands. So is that Mother Nature doing
something? It's making me think of like an acupuncture point,
right?
And that they're connected, so that it's part of a pressure point grid on the planet.
Which means there should be other points as well.
Well, I'm just visualizing that the pressure is released as gently as possible.
Yes, I was thinking of that yesterday as well. And I think the more that people focus on that, not just you and me, but others as well, if we all tune in to the idea that we can gracefully and easily move through this shift. Yes, there are pressure points that are, releasing more than others, but for the vast majority of this planet, we can roll this forward in an elegant way.
And I was aware recently that I have part of me that's an extraterrestrial has been in negotiations, and that it felt complete and it felt successful. And then I've been reading various things on Twitter and so forth that the negotiations are complete, that the cabal has capitulated, that they've said, okay, you win, we're out. And the idea was that there will be no more events that will be harmful to the population. So let's tune into our team and see what they say about what's going on. I got a sense of a celebration, but it's a quick celebration because there's a lot of work to do, kind of thing. It's like, woohoo! All right, let's get back to work.
My tuning in, did I write it down somewhere? I think I did. Was, just relax. You're going to be really busy very soon. Start preparing, declutter the house, get yourself so that this space, this little house, will become a place for deep relaxation at the end of your days. Like when you finish work at the end of the day, because you're going to need to really relax. And I was like, okay.
I've gotten a lot of messages recently. It's just, you need to rest. Just keep resting. Take it easy. Build up your energy. It reminds me of when I was pregnant with my second child, and I went into premature labor, and I ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. And I'd been a go-girl, I'd been getting ready, doing the nesting, spending a lot of money. Spending a lot of energy. Already had another child, a 2-year-old. And it would have been not a good thing had I not had that forced bed rest for weeks, because I was forced to rest and stop being the busy little mama, So this feels like that. Because I've been sort of forced to rest with the physical challenges.
A lot of the conversations I'm having right now, like because we're still in lockdown, we can't go more than 2 miles from our house and this kind of thing, which means it stops you from going to so many places. If you're isolated, you're screwed. You're in a not a very good place. Most of the shops are closed, so they're all going broke. You can see they've got final clearance, click and collect, because you can't even go into the shop. You have to order it online and then pick it up from their front door. But they're all going broke. So many. And these are big companies, some of them, not just little ones. It's not the very, very biggest, of course, are perfectly fine. But I'm finding that talking to lots of people, ringing up lots of people is keeping my mind connected with other people, not just emails or chatting on social media or whatever. And the main concern a lot of them have is what happens to all these people who've had it. I mean, there was that episode, I think I did a wee while back, about the anxiety around that, and that, we don't really know what can be done other than the comfort that they would never invent something they didn't have an antidote for. That's what Judy Mikovits said, and I think that was good logic.
That's what David Wilcock said in one of his recent videos. He says, things are getting really ramped up. I'm going to be in contact with you guys a lot. And he's doing a lot of his free videos, the hours long of
No,
David.
the guy is just not succinct, is he?
He's a wonderful speaker, but oh my
Loves
God.
the sound of his voice.
Was a video of somebody in a highly placed position in government, not in the U.S. or I'll show you somewhere else. Sorry, I don't remember. But that they were saying, okay, here's the plan. We'll come out with we have the antidote. We'll come out with it, but it'll be a fake one. But then later we'll come out with the real one.
Why? Why would they do that?
Because the idea of the fake one is it stops people from spreading. So it looked bad that people are getting sick from people who've gotten the jab.
Yeah.
And they wanted to make it so that it didn't look so bad so they could keep jabbing people for a while longer.
Right. Yeah, that was the
But that they definitely have the antidote that will eventually be released. So
they're going to scare people for a wee while, I think.
But I think that's happened. I mean, I think we're past that point. If it's happening on Sunday, and what you're looking at, like Project Veritas has all these medical whistleblowers coming out. I like the UK is stopping their mandate and the passport. Right. And then I just saw a video of a police constable from the UK saying he'd just been in a meeting with 16 people. And he mentioned some of them. There was a member of parliament there as well, and a bunch of professionals from around the world are in the meeting. And what he said was, what was determined from this meeting is that we must stop this jabby program right away, or at least pause it. We've got like Whitmer, governor of Michigan, who's the farthest left totalitarian person ever. And she's decided, yeah, we're not going to do the masks on kids or passports. So I think we're going to see more and more of that coming out. And then, of course, we've got the Durham. The first indictment finally came out from Durham.
So we finally found more photographs of the guy.
Yeah, maybe he is real.
He just, but not very keen to get his photo taken, perhaps. Who knows?
Yeah.
He just has the same expression on his face all the time.
I know. He's got a great scowl, right? But what I read is that the way the indictment is written up, and it was about a Clinton lawyer lying to the FBI, that it connects to other people. It basically says there's a lot of other people involved in this that we're going to go after, or it doesn't say that we're going to go after, but that they're there. So it's, that's starting. We have the announcement of the event going on in Arizona day after tomorrow from when we're recording today. And I think the idea is a whole bunch of stuff at once. That we've got to have like a pivotal event that finally flips.
Well, I think and it needs to be very visible, I think, because here in Australia, the information that we're getting for Australia is still too well hidden. Like over in America, like I can get stuff for America. There's all this stuff that I can pick up as proof of what's going on in America, but in Australia, that's not as much there. And our TGA, which is the equivalent of your FDA, they blocked access to their database so that we couldn't see all the hundreds of deaths in their report. I don't know if that's come back on or not, because I did see somebody got some statistics out of it, but it said like 20 more deaths in a month. And I'm thinking, well, that's not right. My intuition's going, absolutely no, that's not correct. So it's too well hidden and people don't believe it. They won't even open, I'm talking to people on social media and they're going, no, you're wrong. And I said, well, just email me and I'll give you the report. No, you're wrong. I said, well, then Google who paid the biggest crime. What was it?
Criminal fine.
That's it. Who paid the biggest criminal fine in history? Just Google it. No answers are coming up.
Don't Google it.
Well, it's either Google that's the problem, or they're just too scared to do so. Oh, that's right, because they were promoting. Somebody put up a meme of the blue pill, Pfizer's blue pill, It says, guys, you trusted this pill with your deck all these years. You can trust it for their future product. And that's what I wrote underneath. God. Go and search for the biggest criminal fine in history.
It's amazing.
Yeah, not getting it. So if it's going to be a big visible event, then I'm not quite sure what that's going to be.
Yeah. And I was thinking the other day that I have family that don't believe me. Of course, everybody does. But nobody ever asked, well, why do you feel that way?
No, that's
why
right.
do you think?
I'm so delighted
nobody
when
wants
people
to know
that.
Yeah. I was told recently, oh, we're so upset. We're so sad because we feel distant from you because of your beliefs. And I'm like, come on, ask. Why do I believe that?
I don't want to hear it.
And I'm like, yeah, I feel distance from you because of your beliefs too. I mean, whose beliefs are distancing here? I don't know.
Maybe that's temporary. Maybe that will come and
go. Yeah. And my hit at the time was just wait. They're going to be coming to you soon. Yeah. And don't get into it. It's not going to work anyway. Historically, try to share stuff and it just hits the cog disc wall and bounces off, So it's got to be big, and we've got to get the mainstream media involved. But if somebody like Governor Whitmer of Michigan is flipping somewhat at any rate, right? No mask for kids. That means the signal's been given. It's time.
Yeah, that's right. Or that person's been informed. Sometimes I look at, and here's another good example is Marianne Williamson, who was a wonderful spiritual teacher. She ran her own church and all sorts of things. Her speeches were fantastic. Her books were fantastic. And then she decided to run for government. And everyone's like, yay, great, let's get a spiritual woman in there. This is completely different from the ones that are already there. And she immediately fell in with the agenda. And we're looking at her like, hang on, what's going on here? And everyone's like, oh, she was just a shill in the first place. I'm like, no, that's not the case. Maybe she's just not informed. Or it could be mind control, but she doesn't got those big bug eye thing going on. So maybe she's just not informed. She's so busy with her work. All she's doing is relying on mainstream to find out what's going on.
Isn't she the one who, oh, no, that was somebody else who wasn't quite following the far left thing. That was the gal from Hawaii, who all of a sudden the Democrats just turned on her and attacked because she wasn't far enough left. So, if you're feeling anxiety, ask, is it excitement or is it anxiety? What's coming? Get yourself rested, take care of yourself, hydrate and all that groovy stuff because things are happening. And don't be afraid.
There's lots of tools that you can use as well. Just if you find that your mind is very scattered, is to, make the lists, find out. Like for me, I think I was sort of, got so many things going on. I've got new stuff because I'm going into training and for my new career. I want to keep an eye on what's going on in Melbourne because that's just so astounding. The whole progress that they're making there is just, it's so amazing, that
they've got a union is
they beat up the union
because
they discovered the whole union is in cahoots with the government when in fact they're meant to be advocating for the workers. So they were spitting mad about that. They were mad about the old lady that fell on the road. I'm kind of wondering about that old lady in a red coat in the middle of the street all by herself with a little Australian flag. I mean, it was just a target, absolute target. Perfect thing to watch. Her being thrown down, no other civilians around to help her. Don't you think that was pretty obvious? Was this part of the movie? I don't know. But I got all these construction workers very, very mad. Then they're also apologizing and saying, look, to all the shop workers and restaurant workers, we are so sorry. We know that you were cut off all this time, locked down way, way before us, and we did nothing to help you, and we are so sorry, and we're here to do it now. Like they're coming out as the big warriors. But they're doing it for their families and they're doing it for freedom and they're just doing it for the right purposes. So when you see all the footage, there's a lot more of it than what I was putting in there, that you might see say a line of police blocking, and then like horde of people running down the road, and they break the line and they're running through. But then you look in to see what's going on, and say there's one policeman and he's been isolated from the others, and he's trying to pick up his hat and all the rest. Everyone's running around him. You know, they're not touching him. There's no fighting going on. None of them are attacking the police physically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're being very, very particular about that, and that is awesome. And just this whole unity thing is what I see, which is so exciting to see them change their view and come on, we're all going to go after the governor now. The governor can throw out Parliament. That's what we want. That's what's happening. That's what the goal is today. They want the government sacked. This is it. This is the moment. So it's a lot earlier than Sunday.
It's happening.
Yeah,
it's happening. Well, I'm not sure what the crescendo will be if I get any information, but generally speaking, it's like, no, we're not telling you.
I think the crescendo, everybody will know. It won't be you and me that'll be notifying anybody. I think it'll be very clear.
Right. No, I mean the idea if I get anything ahead of time, oh, here's what's going to happen. Yeah, no, not going to happen.
Not going to happen this time.
I've been told before, we won't tell you. You just get to experience it. Enjoy the movie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know I'm not going to say stay safe, but really look after yourself and your family, and try and get some laughs happening during the day. Get laughing with people, smile at people, look them in the eye and smile. Even if your face is covered, you can see smiley eyes. And I think more people need to get tuned in with that as well, I think.
And feet on the earth. That helps a lot. When we're done here, I'm probably going to go out and put my feet in the dirt. Get some grounding done. Get my feet dirty. Dang it, I haven't got my feet dirty today.
Well, I remember when I was in New Zealand, and my sister and I, we must have been about teenagers, I think, and there was the promo for a movie, and they're using a real Southern accent, and this girl, she was kind of trying to get out of a truck, and the guy says, "Get back in truck, Geraldine." This was so funny. We wait for it to come up on the TV commercials every time.
Get back in truck. Oh my God. When I worked at a job a long, long time ago, there was a Southern gal there, and she always said, "How you doing, Sarah Jane?" Jane is not my name, but she, Sarah Jane, you guys got here. No, it's gotta have something else there.
Gotta have a double barrel name.
We better back off, or the South is going to come for us.
Oh, I know. Surely they can laugh at their own accent too. Everyone used to laugh at mine. As soon as I got here in Sydney, everyone's laughing at my New Zealand accent.
Oh, how funny!
You want some fish and chips? That's how they thought the Kiwis. And I was like, I don't speak like that. Then I'd speak as beautifully as I could. I do not speak like that. It would really annoy me. And then on the radio, they would have, they had an advertisement for somebody, and their number was 1300 66 66 66. It used to crack me up. And all the Aussies are like, what? We all laugh at each other's accents. It's okay.
All right. Well, I'll be so happy when political correctness is over.
Yeah, we all just need a good laugh. A good laugh.
Exactly. All right.
Keep
That's
smiling.
all.
Bye.